Los Angeles, symphony, making no music for you. LA Symphony, it's all we know. Making hits and rocking bells. Give the people what they asking for. And if you feel it, let me hear you say, LA Symphony, it's all we know. Making hits and rocking bells. Give the people what they asking for. And if you feel it, let me hear you say,
on the road to high cash, flows is high class.
and pass the other brothers like $100 cash.
This for the long haul, we built to last. Last aftermath, casket smash.
Let's be strong like animals.
Tearing up on the abstract intangible. Cannibals, money young, my tongue compatible.
No grammatical, historical, mathematical.
Now it's my turn to flip the script. To see you as I shoot the gift.
So these schools of fish.
Flowing against streams to see a death wish.
That's all we know. Making hits and rocking bells. Give the people what they asking for. And if you feel it, let me hear you say.
And once again, show the shirt. Off the cuff, bitches. Welcome back once again. I am here for you yet again. Took the day off yesterday. Why? Because it was my girlfriend's birthday. Yes, believe it or not, I do manage to get some tang every once in a while. All right, so, recognize. I get tang. I'm in a weird mood today, which is not exactly weird for me, but I'm feeling a little odd here and there. I'm just trying to sort out the thoughts in my head, trying to understand the demons in my mind that are, just assaulting me as usual, but a little bit differently today and yesterday. As I said, yesterday was my girlfriend M's birthday. She is a rousing 21 years old, and that is the fucking age I'm going to keep saying. So don't you worry about it. The fact that I'm 42 shouldn't affect what I tell you. In any case, no, it was her birthday. We had a lovely little time there. I got her. We didn't celebrate the birthday completely. Excuse me. Because she had yesterday, and her co-workers took her out for lunch, and we're going to be going out this week. We're going Saturday to some fancy restaurant thing deal, and we'll be doing that. But yesterday we just kept it on the DL, to coin a phrase again. Took it easy, no big deals here. No, that's one of the things that has been on my mind is as we get older, it's like, how much do things matter the way they used to? And the things that used to be all consuming, it's bizarre to me that they really just, I don't care about them as much, and yet they come to mind. Thus today's title of today's show is Sweet and Sour, which is my reference to memories in general. They're sweet and they're sour. A lot of people didn't enjoy high school. I know I didn't. For the most part, it was a miserable experience for me, and not all of it had to do with the school itself or the people in the school. It's just a time in my life, where I was dealing with, my own family's crazy religious bullshit, and I was dealing with just growing up in the Bronx, New York. It was just one of those deals where I was just there. I was a teenager. I was a teenage boy dealing with the world around me. And if you've ever been a teenage boy growing up in the Bronx, then, you probably beat me up and took my money. But, that's what I'm talking about. I'm talking about high school. I'm talking about the people I knew then that I still keep in contact with to this day. And most of them, for the most part, are really very decent people, better people than I am. Because I am not a good human being. I don't care what anybody says. I don't care what my girlfriend or my mother says. Okay? I am not a good person. But, they believe in me. They love me. They care. But because I I am perceived as being a halfway decent human being, I am going to talk about a few things here. Let's take care of the ramblings of the day. I'm going to mention my sister's business, Diaper Cakes by Jessica. I've said it a zillion times. I'm going to continue to keep saying it. And when one of you fuckers actually contacts my sister and buys a diaper cake from her and gets back to me and say, "Hey, Joe, I bought a diaper cake," that's when I'll stop talking about it, all right? We're talking about a centerpiece, a gift for an expectant or new mother. It's my sister. She builds these incredible cakes, 1, 2, 3, 4 tiers even, of diapers and wet naps and toys and blankets and baby monitors. And she puts it all together in the shape of this cake that you can have, as a gift at a baby shower for a new or expectant mother. And I'm going to tell you, I'm guaranteeing for you that it will be the talk of the time. You know what? People would just be ignoring the mother by the time you're done with, presenting the diaper cake. Okay? That's what I'm saying here. Also, my buddy Justin Zachary continues to just kick the living shit out of the Elephant Theater with his play, Train Spotting. It's not his, but he's starring in it. All right? So check that out. Tickets are $20 Fridays and Saturdays, 8 p.m. $15. Look, you get a discount on Sundays when you go to the show at 7 p.m. So go check that out. Why don't you? And then, of course, next week, I am big time excited. My first guest of the new format of Joe the Shirts Off the Cuff, that's my show, in case you were wondering, Gucci Boom and Red Fox are going to be here. There's going to be pictures and video and, other things that we can't mention because, legalities. But they're going to be here talking about themselves. It's called The Hump Day Show, which is going to be hopefully a regular bit that I do here on Wednesdays. The Hump Day Show, where I get, women that are interesting, funny, intelligent, that are in the business world that you would still want to have sex with. Not an easy combination to come across. So, please check that out. Next week, Hump Day, Gucci Boom, and Red Fox, also known as my friends Amanda and Jessica. Okay? Please. Okay, you know what? It's still early in the day. For those of you who, just joining in here, let's talk about birthdays. How about celebrity birthdays? It is so schlock. It really is. It's to talk about celebrity birthdays, but you know what? We actually do care. You do. And anytime you hear that your birthday coincides with somebody else's birthday that's famous, you enjoy that. So don't act like you don't. Okay, let's go through it. April 3rd, Eddie Murphy is 53 years old. Alec Baldwin is 56 years old. Doris Day, who knew that crazy bitch was still alive, is 90. And she shares a birthday with Marlon Brando. He's deceased. Jane Goodall is 80. Wayne Newton is 72. Comedian Aries Spears is 39. David Hyde Pierce. You're wondering, how do I know that name? Well, if you ever watched the TV show Frasier, that's how you know that name. He played Niles on Frasier. He is 55 years old. And Tony Orlando is 70. So there you go. And I bet you thought you had nothing in common with anything I was going to say today, did you? You sell me out a little cheaply there. That's what you do. You sell me out. You give up on me, and you don't wait till the end to see where I'm going with. Or I could be rambling. Now, so today, I said I woke up in a bit of a weird mood. Typically, this is the time of year that my girlfriend goes into a weird mood because it's kind of the anniversary of when her mother died and her brother died, and it all happens very, very close to each other. So it was pretty tough all around. And typically around this time of year, she gets a little, but this year she's holding her shit together better than ever. I thank all of her friends, her remaining family, and her co-workers that have just been there for her and, recognizing that she's holding her shit together better than ever. I'm very impressed, actually. She's actually helping me keep my shit together, which is not easy to do because my shit is like all over the place. It's like insane. Okay. So I was thinking about high school. I know that took a few twists and turns to get to where I'm going here, but I'm still getting there. Oh, by the way, I know another segue here. The opening music for today was by Dinah Washington. Her song, "For All We Know." All right, that was "For All We Know" by Dinah Washington. So just giving her mad props, even though it did sound like a man singing. I don't know what it's all about. Excuse me. Gas. Okay. Like I said, I was thinking about high school today. I was thinking about something that's it came across my mind because of some of my friends are talking about some of my other friends, most notably one Benjamin Hernandez, who I knew through high school, junior high school, and Ben just had an operation, and apparently he wasn't feeling well, but nobody's telling me what it's about, and I don't feel right asking because while me and Ben are friends, we weren't the closest of friends. We're not the closest of friends, but I have nothing bad to say about the man. He was the only way I can really truly describe him to anybody. He was the biggest guy that never bullied me. I mean, when you happen to be 12 and over 6 feet tall, you're a big fucking dude, okay? And that was Ben, and I don't want to call him a gentle giant. I don't want to call him Big Ben. I just did. I'm sorry. But I remember him as just always willing to listen to anything you had to say, regardless of what it was. And I got to tell you, when you're like 13, 14, 15 years old, you don't have a whole lot to say. But having somebody there that was willing to listen was pretty incredible, especially when it was, somebody so physically big as Benjamin was. His name is Benjamin C. Hernandez. I am assuming the C stands for Carlos, which would make sense considering that we're all Latino. I was poking fun at some of my friends from high school because one of them mentioned, bringing dominoes with them because, God forbid any Latinos ever get together and not play dominoes. I mean, we have to play dominoes. Gapi-ku, motherfucker! That is what we do. It truly is. It's right up there with black people and doing the electric slide. It's gonna happen. All right, it's just going to happen. You get enough white people together, somebody's gonna make a mayonnaise sandwich, guaranteed. Somebody, mayonnaise sandwiches coming out. Okay, and it better be Hellman's. You bring out that Kraft shit, and I'm kicking your ass. So anyway, I was talking about Benny Hernandez, who was, like I said, just one of the nicest guys I ever knew, but I never felt as if I knew him. I knew him in junior high school. I knew him in high school. I knew that he went to the Navy, joined the Navy. He was in there for like 20 years. He had a job that was very, very, very specific and not something he could talk about. And there were like security issues. So that's all I know because that's all he'd ever tell me. So, good for him. But it was one of those deals where like I think about the people that I knew back in high school, and I don't know that anybody knew him all that well. I mean, some people I'm sure did more than others. I wasn't one of them, but by the way, this is not a eulogy. Just letting you know, okay? Benny's not dead, okay? I'm just reflecting on my days in high school a little bit, and Benny has been the thought in my head, so that's what I'm going with this with. All right, so don't go nuts on me. And it's actually about break time. And please stay tuned. Joe the Shirt's Off the Cuff. I'm talking about my experiences in high school and my friends in high school. So you might be among them. All right. Anyway, we're going to go take a little break here with Never Ask for Too Much by Jay Zohar. I'm Joe the Shirt. I'm Off the Cuff.
Friends and I am blind. They say my love is kind, but they just don't understand. Outside it rains okay, even an autumn's day. Will you love me this way? Or will you save that day? I'm here to love you, boy. I just wanna be with you. Will you go? I'll never ask for too much, even though I'll give you all my love, and you won't belong to me anymore. I'll never ask for too much, even though I'll never ask for too much, even though I wanna share with you. I wanna stare at you, be neat of what you do, and always keen on you. Outside it snows okay.
All right, we are back once again. Joe the Shirt is Off the Cuff. If you were enjoying that song, you can look it up under Jay Zohar, and the title of the song is "Never Ask for Too Much." Never ask for too much. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Yeah, that's what it is. Anyway, I am back. I'm Joe the Shirt, and I've been talking about one of my least favorite subjects, which is high school. I did not enjoy high school. It was not fun for me. All that happened was I was physically and psychologically abused by the people that ran high school, whether it was fellow students or teachers or staff or security. That's what happened. Okay, it was not a pleasant experience for me. I did not enjoy it. Maybe some people did, but I don't know who those people are, generally speaking. I've been, like I said, I've kept contact with a few people from high school. And for the most part, I do have good memories of them, but that's because they were decent people to begin with, which means that it's easy to have good memories of them. One of them being Benjamin Hernandez, sweet human being. For all I know, he's a serial killer. I mean, honestly, I don't know. You know, he could be. You know, that doesn't count as slander because I'm not making an accusation. All you legal eagles out there. Some of the people that I've been in contact with, I'm looking forward to having on as guest of the show. My friend, my buddy Jason Medina, who works for the NYPD. See, this is what I love about the difference between high school and adulthood is if you ever met Jason Medina when he was in high school, on no planet would you ever envision Jason Medina being NYPD. I'm talking some of the baddest ass PDs out there. I'm talking about a police fucking officer. I'm talking about a guy that has endured, so much shit in his job. And when I knew him, I could have sworn I could have kicked his ass. But not anymore. I'm telling you right now, I'm quite certain Jason Medina could kick the living shit right out of me right now. But if you knew him in high school, you would never have imagined Jason being such a badass. And I've seen pictures of him, and he's looking at the camera, and he's all badass and sexy, and he's looking at you. He's looking right through you, okay? Who you were in high school has got nothing to do with who you are right now. I mean, it influenced it, but it wasn't a fully developed you just yet. So I'm telling you, you bitches out there, stay away from Joanne's man, all right? Jason is Joanne's man. Stay away from him, all right? Because he's just totally badass. He's also a writer. He writes, I believe, horror. That's what I want to go with along the Stephen King kind of line. Very creative gentleman, smart and just likable, and just like I say, you would never, if you were to meet him, you would never say, "Oh yeah, that guy's a cop." You would not say that, but you could see it because he's totally badass. All right. He currently dates one of my biggest crushes of all time, my friend Joanne Santos. Joanne, I had the biggest crush on her. She was just like totally cute and silly and crazy, and I just loved her to death. And of course, I was, a teenager with no skills whatsoever. But, now they're together, and you find them online, they're so damn cute. Really, you want to pinch them both. You want to just like grab their cheeks and just go. You do. You really do. I don't know what Joe does for a living right now. But I do know that she dresses up every year for Halloween, and zombie makeup, witch makeup, they're like gashing wounds across her torso. It's just ridiculous because Jason is even more into Halloween than I am, and that's not easy to do. Okay, but they're just a lot of fun to look at. Okay. Who else do I remember in a very, very fun way? Well, there's also one of my old friends, Cornelius Moore. Cornelius, when I knew him in high school, was planning on being an entomologist, which, for those of you who don't know, is a bug scientist. He was going to study bugs, and I'm not entirely sure why he wanted to study bugs, to be perfectly honest with you. But he was one of the funniest guys I ever knew. He used to do these great impressions of Soundwave from the Transformers. I'm not even going to try because it would be insulting to him. And he used to do this great impression of a Cobra Viper from the TV show G.I. Joe. Never turn your back on a Viper. He used to do it. It was funny to me back then. It was entertaining to me. But then again, back then I was also 15 years old, all right? But as far as I know, he's also married and working as a headhunter. Not a literal headhunter, you freakazoids. He works for a company that, looks for people that could be interested in jobs that he's able to provide. That's what he does. Let's see. There's Lori Stella. Lori Stella is in a lot of ways like my friend Benjamin because we didn't know each other all that well in high school. We actually became better friends when we went to college, when her college came to visit my college, and yada, 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 yada. No, nothing ever happened between me and Lori Stella, which is a damn shame because Lori had one of the most incredible bodies you're ever going to find, okay? She definitely had that Latino booty going, rocking and rolling. All right. And then there's my buddy Robert Rulon. Robert Rulon, as far as I know, I believe, I could be mistaken, currently resides on the West Coast, possibly in California, and he works with the fire department. I don't know exactly I don't know if he's a fireman or if he's an inspector. I don't know. I'm just letting you know right now, I do not know. But I do know is that he seems way, 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 way more responsible and well thought of than the guy I knew in high school. The guy I knew in high school was a complete goof, just a fun guy, easygoing. was more than happy to take a few digs at you. Just letting you know, he would definitely dig in on you. But he, more often than not, he was good natured, and I do owe him an apology. We took a senior trip, and I used his soap in the shower. So I'm sorry for that, Robert. He brought his own bar of soap with him on the trip to the hotel, and he left it in the shower, and I opened it up and I used it. So, Robert, I'm sorry I used your soap. I just felt that you should know that. Because he was pissed off about it. Let's see. Let's talk a little bit about Tone Garcia, also known as Tony. Tone Garcia, he is the Ferris Bueller of the Bronx, of Theodore Roosevelt High School. I mean, that's what he looks like. He looks like Matthew Broderick. He really, truly does. He always had his hair coolly slicked. He always had very nice clothes. He was just put together very nicely. And this is one of those guys that I wish I could have been better friends with, because he was popular and I wasn't. And he was just very, very cool. I don't know what it was, but he just was. He just had an air about him that you wanted to be around him, waiting for something to happen around him so you could be a part of it. And it was a cool thing. Just so we all know, I am not in love with Tony Garcia from Theodore Roosevelt High School, class of 88. I am not in love with Tony Garcia. Just letting you all know. Let's talk about other people that I was in love with. Let's talk about Michelle Villari. Michelle Villari was quite possibly one of the most beautiful young women I'd ever met in my life. Everything about her was just put together so well. But beyond her physical beauty, just looking at her face, which, by the way, was incredible. You just felt comfortable looking at her face. She was actually really quite sensible and intelligent, which you don't think about when you're in high school. You really don't. You don't care. If anything, meeting a sensible female is a bad thing. That means that they got one up on you. But Michelle was actually put together very well, not just in her physical features, but in her head. She understood certain things that were way beyond the little boys around her, and even above the little girls that she, hung out with. And there was just something about her, and it made you want to like her and hate her at the same time, which was a very bizarre feeling. Then there was Luis Rodriguez. Luis Rodriguez was, or is, I can't speak for another person that I knew that I can say that I'm friends with, but another one that I really didn't know. That's what I'm talking about. The people, every person that I've mentioned so far, I didn't really know all that well. The person that I knew the best is someone I haven't even mentioned yet, but all these people, I knew their names. I'd been to their homes, some of them anyway, and I had been, physically attracted to them, and yet I didn't really know them. And on so many levels, maybe they knew me better than I thought they did. I mean, it could be one of the reasons that we weren't close. Maybe they just didn't like me. I don't know. But I continue to keep in contact with them to this day, and it's just the people you know when you were that 20 years ago, 25, 30 years ago, they know things about you that you do not want to admit to. Okay? They know things about you that you don't like to talk about to other people. And I feel that way about them. These people know things about me that I don't want anybody finding out about. Which is why I go around talking about it, because the more I talk about it, the less power it seems to have. At least that's That's where my mind goes. In any case, it is time for a break. Thank God. Okay, and we're going to take a break with the band Fluid Minds and their song, Hear It. I'm Joe the Shirt, and I'm off the cuff.
And I hope that these gray skies clear up someday. But for now, I'll sing my blues away. And I don't care if nobody hears me. I'd scream into the world if I had to, just to prove how much I need you, baby. When I'm coming home, my song told me now, and if you ain't left to hear it, I hope that these gray skies clear up someday. But for now,
And once again, Joe the Shirt is off the cuff and back. Let me lower this a little bit so I don't destroy my own eardrums. That was Hear It by Fluid Minds. Talking about people from high school, inspired originally by my friend Ben Hernandez, who apparently had an operation recently. I don't know what for. I'm not going to ask because that's none of my fucking business. But, people are checking in with him, people that know him better than I do, and I wish him nothing but the best. And I'm talking about the people that are somehow connected to his life and mine. Who else can I talk about? Well, I can talk about Rubel Hastu, or whatever. Anyway, Rubel was one of the first people I had ever met that was from a different country. He was from South America or Central America, but not actually Latino. It was a little weird. He's from Guyana, and I liked him immediately. I really did. I thought he was just so different from everybody else I'd ever met in my life because he was literally from a different world. And I wanted to find out about him. I wanted to learn about, where he came from because there was, all I'd known all my life was white people, black people, Latino people, Asian people. So this was a person that was from a whole different part of the world that I wanted to find out about. But Rubel and I, again, like just about everybody here, we never got close. We never became really, really close friends. And just so anybody that's listening to this show that is hearing me mention their names, I am begging you not to take offense. I am not angry at any one of you, honestly. I mean, we were kids. And I probably treated some of you like shit, And again, not that you treated me like shit. I'm just... I need therapy is what I need. I need to talk about the shit that happened in my life. And if you happen to be a topic in this conversation, please take it with the grain of salt that I intend, because I have no real ill will towards anybody that I'm talking about. With the exception to all you virgins, thanks for nothing. That was something that somebody signed in my yearbook, which I do not know where it is right now. I wish I still had it. But no, people, I often wonder, looking back at times like high school and junior high school, why it was we couldn't be better friends. And I say, I don't put any blame on anybody. I mean, a lot of it probably had to do with me. I was a dork. I was a total dork. I wasn't even smart enough to be a nerd. Okay, I was a dork. So I don't blame anybody for not wanting to be friends with me, because I was not an easy person to deal with, and I'm still not. Okay, I mean, even when I'm working and I'm dealing with people in my workplace, I'm not easy to be around. Because I'm opinionated and I ask questions, and I think that things are funny that most people do not think are funny, and so it's a little difficult being around me. Believe me, I understand. Being my friend is a bitch. Which brings me to my buddy Arnold Arias. I am not going to speak out here, because all I remember really about Arnold Arias, he was one of the funniest guys I ever knew in my entire fucking life. He was quick. He was sharp. He was just a razor when it came to coming up with ideas and comebacks, and just he was incisive is what he was. I mean, he was just that guy. Of all the people I knew in high school, I wanted to be Arnold Arias. I really did. That's how much I admired how popular he could be, how smart he could be, how on the Johnny on the spot. That was the guy, And the funny thing is, he wasn't the best looking guy in the world. He wasn't the most intelligent guy in the world. He was just somebody that you just wanted to be around. And we were friends. We were friends for a long, long time. I knew him in junior high school, and now, I communicate with him occasionally, and I think of myself as a shit for not being a better friend overall, because, he's reached out to me, and I've not always been there for him or for a lot of my other old friends. But like I said, that's got so much to do with me, so much to do with how I felt about that time in my life. I just didn't feel as if I had friends a lot of the time. And again, that comes off as really bitchy. I'm sorry. But that's how I felt about it, But now, you know what? It wasn't that anybody failed me. It wasn't. I certainly didn't fail anybody else, I don't think. I think we were just teenagers. We didn't know what to do with each other. You watch The Breakfast Club, okay? And you'll get an idea of what high school was like, but not really, because at The Breakfast Club, they actually all got together and everything was hunky and dory. But I think about it, and I know this is not the first time I've done this kind of show, where I talk about what happened in high school and what happened afterwards, and all the incredibly fantastic people that I got to know and still do. You can't really put a label on it, I worked hard today. I worked for over an hour to come up with a title for today's show. I came up with sweet and sour. I asked my girlfriend about it. I looked up, pithy titles on the internet, and this is what I came up with today. This is what works for me. It wasn't easy. Tomorrow I'll probably, go back to the news, find out what's happening, rape laws here, more news about the Pope, what celebrities doing what. I'll probably get back to that tomorrow. But today, I wanted to explore a little bit of the stuff that made me the man that I am today. And you should all be ashamed. Kidding. And I'm looking at my list here of all these names, and there's so many other names on this list. And it's actually making me rather emotional. It's making me rather verklempt if I happen to be Jewish, which there's a good chance that I am Jewish, because in case you hadn't noticed, Puerto Ricans, largest number of Jews in the Caribbean. Just letting you guys know. Little trivia for you, okay? Puerto Ricans, largest number of Jews from the Caribbean. And I think on that note, I'm gonna call it a day, because I am verklempt. I really, really am. I just thinking about this kind of stuff. It's very cleansing. It's a lot like somebody in AA making their apologies and amends and all that kind of shit. But I'm never going to apologize for drinking. No, that's not going to happen. And like I said, can a bunch of Latinos not get together without playing dominoes? Anybody at all? Can we just all get together and, I don't know, play Monopoly? Anybody? That is my time for today. At least that's what I'm making my time today. I got this off my chest, and thank you for listening. Or if you happen to just cut me off early, that's all right too. It's like I tell my girlfriend a lot of times, the jokes are just for me. I'm Joe the Shirt. I'm off the cuff, and this is I'm Guilty as Charged by Gerald Emmerich. Thanks for listening.
There was a woman in my hotel room. Yes, the blinds were all pulled down tight. Yes, there were some empty bottles of liquor. Yes, we were lying naked on a bed. I'm guilty as charged. Got so much love to give. I'm guilty as charged. It's just the way that I am. Hey, there are some pretty ladies in this world. They like the way that I play. Hey, I got way too much love for one girl. And hey, it looks good when the night gets late. I'm guilty as charged.